Good afternoon from Pulau Pinang, Malaysia. It is time for dinner. Tucked away at the bustling Presgrave Street Hawker Centre, near the iconic Comtar Tower, 3888 fried oyster stands out for its promise of a Penang specialty. Fried oyster omelette, or Orh Chien, as Hokkiens call it. The open-air setting hums with energy, with hawkers flipping woks and diners eagerly awaiting plates of local delights. The aroma of sizzling food wafts through the air, mingling with chatter and the clinking of utensils. You might even remember my last adventure here with the 888 Hokkien mee stall. "3888 Fried Oyster is around 23 minutes walk from Urban H Hotel, where I stayed. The stall itself is straightforward, no frills, and focused on the food. Compared to its busier neighbour, the famed 888 Hokkien mee, ordering here is refreshingly simple. Just state your desired portion size, small, medium or large, find a seat and wait. A helper brings the steaming plate directly to your table and you settle the bill upon receiving the dish. While waiting, I also got a Pat Poh drink to combat the Penang heat. While it tasted like a diluted version of the traditional herbal syrup, comprising Chinese herbs, peppermint, sugar, water, citric acid and preservatives, it was still refreshing in the warm environment. Watching the chef at 3888 Fried Oyster is like witnessing an artist at work. Making oyster omelette isn't a quick affair. It's a careful process of constant stirring and frying to achieve that perfect golden brown texture, crispy on the outside, moist and slightly greasy within. The medium plate of oyster omelette that arrived was a sight to behold. It was a beautiful mix of puffy golden brown egg and that signature gooey starch texture topped with glistening fried oysters. The stalk of cilantro isn't just a decoration, it's supposed to enhance the dish's aroma, flavour, visual appeal, and potentially even its digestibility. Unfortunately, due to my genes, cilantro tastes like dish soap to me. The local mini oysters used here are a true highlight. Surprisingly large for their baby moniker, they were incredibly fresh, juicy, and had a delightful chew. They provided bursts of briny flavour that complemented the eggy base perfectly. The crispy edges provided a delightful textural contrast to the soft interior. The Penang version leans closer to Taiwanese Orh Chien than the Teochew or Luwak due to its starchiness and chewiness. However, a key difference sets it apart. Instead of having the sauce ladled over the omelette like in Taiwan, Penang locals prefer a lime sambal chili sauce on the side. The accompanying chili sauce, infused with lime juice and minced garlic, is a non-negotiable component for me. The chili sauce at 3888 Oyster Omelette was spot on, adding a zesty kick that cut through the richness of the omelette. The starch is where things get a tad subjective. While I generally enjoy a good oyster omelette, this particular version leaned towards the wet side, and the starch was a bit too gloopy for my personal preference. It wasn't bad, I just prefer a drier, crispier texture. Despite the slightly gloopy starch, the 3888 Fried Oyster is undoubtedly a must-try for any food lover visiting Penang. The crispy edges, fresh oysters, and chili sauce make it a truly satisfying street food experience. I paid 16 ringgit for my plate of fried oyster omelette. So, if you find yourself wandering around Comtar Tower, make sure to add 3888 Fried Oyster at Presgrave Street Hawker Centre to your culinary itinerary.